Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1490. Wow, we're only 10 episodes away from 1500, which will come, let's see, in 10 days minus Saturday, 9 days. So 9 days would be next Friday, assuming I don't miss any more time, and I won't. So, I think it's going to be a free-for-all. Episode 1500, I think, might be on a Friday. Is the math working on that? Let me see the calendar here. Victor's here. What's going on? Red lights in the house. All right. Okay. Today's 14, 90, 91, 92. Skip a day. 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. Oh, I was way off. Oh, wait. 99 would be 20. So 1500 would be on Monday, June 23rd, I think. Because we'll take this Saturday off for Janesville. Next Saturday is the Madison card show at the Alliant. So I think 1500 will come on the Monday, the 23rd. So what's happening? Happy Wednesday, hump day, big day around here. It's recycling day and trash day. I forgot. I'm a day behind because I essentially had Monday. Like Monday, I was only here like half the day. So it didn't feel like Monday felt like a Sunday because I was driving home, didn't get home until the afternoon, which is normally like a Sunday for me. So, I totally forgot it's trash day and was taking Ernie out to go potty this morning, and I see all the cans on the curb. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get it's full. It's full. Shitter's full on recycling week. So that is now taken care of and is on the curb. I acquired another pallet, which I've been talking about over the last couple days. I'm like, I'm due. It's been about 2 months. They are the Gaylords are much larger. I think they're about 150 pounds more of cards. So it's probably right around 150,000 cards. Before it was around, I think, 125,000. So another pallet secured. Again, no, I have no idea what's in these until I go pick them up and start digging. So they sprinkle some stuff on the top, but not much on the top. I mean, there's like a cool Kobe card that they sprinkled on the top. It might go for like $20 on eBay Live. But I don't know what else. It was also cheaper, so I don't know, but they stopped putting the weight on the pallets. So but I can tell you there are a lot more cards. I don't care about weight. I care about how many cards are fitting in my car, and I fill up a lot more of my SUV than I did previously because they jacked up the price, and they didn't jack up the price because I found the Mike Trout. They jacked up the price because it was bigger Gaylords, more weight, and they charge by the pound. Although they did also just stop showing the weight as well. They're like, we're just gonna put a price on it and you'll pay. So this was about $100 cheaper. I don't know if there's, I'm sure it's a lighter pallet. Maybe, I don't know. I'll find out tomorrow. I'm picking it up tomorrow because I did a live last night. Want to get a lot of shipping done. We've got to get groceries. Last night was kind of a shit show for dinner. My wife's hungry. My wife was hangry. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Like I'll have a bagel. She's like, well, I'm hungry. I'm like, uh-oh. She's like, let's order something. I'm like, I have eBay Live at 7. So like, and it's like 6:20. I'm like, about the only thing we can get and have it by 6:50 is fast food. I'm like, how about Culver's? She's like, well, I had Arby's for, and by the way, my wife does not eat fast food with the exception of like every 6 weeks we have Culver's. She's like, I had Arby's for lunch, so I feel like shit. And I'm like, Arby's? She's like, I was really hungry, and it was the closest thing of food. And I'm like, okay, uh-oh. So I'm digging around, and I'm like, we don't have anything. And I'm like, so I came downstairs, and we have like the beer fridge down here in the basement is basically just kind of, the freezer is for like overflow, which usually we don't have much, like we're not like I'm a meat eater, but my wife, like, we don't have, like, some people have like meat freezers. I don't. I have a beer fridge. And then there's like frozen pizza in the freezer portion. So uh was going, it's like, ah, shit, there's tortellini. I'm like, all right, I'll eat this. Like, it's fast, cooks in 2 minutes. So you can, and I can tell you my wife was hangry because I was making pasta. My wife is she is a freaking general in the kitchen, and that's why I don't like to cook. And she bosses me around in the kitchen. So so I'm making the tortellini. I'm impatient. So I don't wait for the water to boil. It's like, the water's hot. I'm just going to put the pasta in the bowl. And apparently I didn't put enough water in the pot. I didn't wait until it was boiling. I mean, you would have thought I committed 7 felonies trying to make this tortellini last night. And I'm like, shit, I'm going to go hide in the basement the rest of the night. So it turned out the tortellini, I mean, can you really fuck up pasta? Like frozen pasta? Like, come on. Like, just because I didn't wait for the butter. Well, did you put salt? Yes, I put fucking salt. I put fucking salt in the pot. Yes, I am one of those people. I don't follow directions. I do it my own way. And if I fuck it up, tough shit. If I fuck up a meal, I'll eat it. I don't care. So the pasta turned out okay. I mean, it's frozen pasta. You can't fuck it up. I guess you can, but it's still pasta. It tastes pretty much the same. I'm not cooking a gourmet meal here. I'm cooking pasta because I've got to get down to the basement in 10 minutes. So with that said, I am going to go grocery shopping today to make sure this emergency doesn't happen again tonight. I am going to go live again tonight on eBay Live and again tomorrow night on eBay Live. Tonight will be another request. Tomorrow night will be Goodwill Pallet sale. Goodwill Pallet sale tomorrow night. So basically, what does that mean? It means I pick the pallet up tomorrow afternoon. And I'll basically bring, and I still have cards from the 300,000 pickup last week. That a lot of those are like singles. I'm finding, like, there was Bobby Witt Jr. rookies that were, selling $5, $6, $7 last night. And those were just in random boxes, from the last week's collection. So basically I'll unload that shit, go pick it up, and then I'll start unloading. I'm gonna keep closer attention on loading tomorrow when I pick this pallet up, and then put some of the better stuff, because what I'm gonna do is, like, I'm not literally going to bring the pallet into my basement and start pulling boxes out and selling, because that's not efficient whatsoever. So I'm gonna make it sound like I am, but I'm really not. It's all about the aesthetics. Is that the right word? I don't know. So yeah, so that's coming up tomorrow night. And then we'll see how bogged down I am with shipping. I plan to go because I want to get into a rhythm where I'm doing 5 days a week. I want to do 5 days a week, maybe take 1 day off during the week. I thought about taking Saturdays off, but I mean, shit, with what we did on Saturday night, I may have to run back a Saturday night eBay Live. It won't be this weekend. Next week's going to be tricky because of the Madison Card Show at the Alliant. A lot of work is going into this. I don't think people realize the amount of work that's going into this. I don't realize it. It's a lot of work. Now, hopefully, moving forward, it's not as much work as this first show, but it's a pain. And having dealers, hey, you got me on the list? No. Did you buy a table? Tables went on sale 3 weeks ago. They sold out 2 weeks ago. If you didn't order a table, you don't have a table. So it's just you have to deal with that. There's just so much other costs that go into it. I know a lot of people that come, they're counting, they're like, look at this. He's charging this much per table. There's this many tables. Look at all the money they're making. And they don't realize the rent. They don't realize the insurance. They don't realize I'm hiring security for this event. I'm hiring 3 different employees for this event. Advertising, I jacked up advertising. I'm paying for the parking. I had to rent. I had some accessorial fees on top of the rental. Vendor badges I had to pay for. So there's a lot of shit that's going into it. So with that being said, I just want to pass that along. If you walk into a card show and you're upset with admission or table prices and you start counting up, take into account there's a lot of behind the scenes costs and work that go into card shows or events. I mean, it doesn't have to be a card show. It can be really any event. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. What else is going on? That's about it. Let's wrap it up. All right. No, let's go to the chat. Good morning. Red lights in the house. What's happening? Victor is here. Good morning. Go Cubs. Another win last night. Beat the Phillies. I don't think they have the best record in the National League. I think do the Mets have the best record in the National League now? I was looking at the standings and I'm like, whoa, what happened here? But I guess the Cubs lost 2 out of 3 in Detroit. Maybe the Mets are on a roll. Let's see. Cubs are 41-26. The Mets 43-24. So the Mets have the best record in the National League. How about those piddly ass Dodgers? Only 40 wins, suckers. And then in all of baseball, so Mets are at what, 642? Cubs are at 612. Ooh, the Yankees are ahead of the Cubs now. Tigers still have the best record in baseball. So I think the Cubs have the 5th best record. Is that right? 4th or 5th? So there you go. But hey, I'm more than happy with the results so far, and hopefully it continues. Unicorn Cupcake in the house. Good morning. Zach's here. He says, many are saying the White Sox are back. It's been confirmed. They are indeed back. No longer the all-time worst record in baseball, Chicago White Sox. Where are they at? Still in last place. I'm thinking they're like creeping up to 500. No. Let's see. The White Sox have. How about the Rockies are 12-54. Oh my God. Are the White Sox the second worst team in baseball? They are. Hey, at least they're not the 12-54 Colorado Rockies. Red Light wants to know the next eBay Live is tonight. So we're going to run back. We're going to go every day this week. Tonight at 7 p.m. Central, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central, and I'm looking at going Friday morning at 10 a.m. Central. And then we'll take Saturday off, and then I'll be back on Sunday for Sunday singles. I'm not sure. I'll probably do a primetime Sunday singles. And then I think I'll run it back Major League Monday. Do some baseball sales because we'll have pallet stuff. I'm still going through last week's collection, and I'll probably be doing some sourcing. I will be doing some sourcing on Saturday at the Janesville Card Show. So if you're in the area, come out to Janesville, Wisconsin this Saturday, Holiday Inn Banquet Center, right on I-39, Janesville, Wisconsin. I'll be there with all of my quarter boxes this Saturday, the Janesville Card Show, right there at the front of the front entrance. David, good morning. Can't wait to see what the newest pallet brings. It is, it's not as exciting. I mean, this is, I think, the 26th pallet that I've bought from Goodwill, dating back to January of, I think during COVID. I think January 2021 was the first pallet I bought. Obviously, the first I had, it's like, oh, I get a whole bunch of cards. It was exciting just because it was new. And then I found the Mike Trout rookie card, and that's like, boom. Actually, no, it would have been January 2022, I think, because card shows were going on. And I think I sold it a little bit. I sold it that spring. So it would have been 2022. Obviously it's and I think maybe the reason I feel this way is since the Mike Trout find, the pallets have kind of been stinkers. I mean, but really, how do you compare to finding a first Bowman Chrome Blue Refractor autograph Mike Trout in a Goodwill pallet? And how could it top that? So I think, I think this is the third or fourth pallet since then, but there was a run. Some of those pallets last year were amazing. 82 traded Ripken rookies, Boggs, Matt, like all those 80s rookies. Man, if I was doing eBay Live, I would have been absolutely killing it on some of those pallets that I got back in end of last summer. But I still crushed it from a buy it now perspective. Red lights in the house. Go Pacers is when is it tonight or tomorrow night? I can't remember. There's so many days between games in the NBA finals. I think I'm rooting for the Thunder. I really don't care. I think I still have like that Reggie Miller hatred from the 90s Pacers. So I feel like I can't root for the Pacers, but I kind of like the Pacers. Like it's not the Reggie Miller Pacers anymore. They're a little more likable than those teams. But I like the Thunder. I like some of the players on the Thunder. So I guess I really just don't care. I would like, and I did watch game one. Game two was during Ana One Fun Days, so I missed that. And I don't know, game three, maybe I'll have on in the background during eBay Live if it's tonight or tomorrow night, whenever it is. So I think is it tonight? For some reason I thought it was Thursday, but maybe it is tonight. I don't know. Good morning, Cody. What's going on? SoCal guys in the house. Good morning. He says, I hope everyone has an amazing day. Red Light wants to know, are the cans full of cards? I don't think there's any cards in my garbage or recycling this week, but with a Goodwill pallet brings a lot of recycled baseball cards. So there will be a lot of cards in future recycle bins. Peter's in the house. Good morning. Philly Joe is here. What's happening? Herman's in the house. He's on the beach. Herman's on the beach. What's going on? How about that? Rich says, with how your business is evolving, does buying these from Goodwill still fit into your new business model? Yes, 100%. And probably now more than ever, because a lot of the stuff that would have been quarter box stuff now goes on eBay Live and makes more than a quarter. So I would say the Goodwill pallets are even better for eBay Live selling than my static selling and card show selling. Especially because I get a ton of, it seems like a lot of the pallets have a lot of modern football color, like even like Mahomes and Josh Allen, and that stuff just flies on eBay Live. So I would say with eBay Live, Goodwill pallets are even better than the previous model of just static selling on eBay. And good morning to you. Like, sub, all those good things. Max says you're one of those. Just follow directions. When time is of the essence, I don't have time to follow directions. I've got 10 minutes to make this damn pasta. I'm not waiting for water to boil. I'm not going to be late to make money. The opportunity cost is eating soggy pasta. It's like my wife said, it's going to be in the water longer. It's going to be soggy. I don't care. I don't care. I've got limited time. I can't wait. So, F-bomb. Yeah, where's my F-bomb? We're dropping F-bombs. It's an F-bomb Wednesday. Max says overcooked pasta is so much worse than undercooked. I would agree with that. Card Safari says some of those eBay Live sales were incredible. And last night was kind of a down eBay Live. And I still did. I think last night was based on sales. I think it was my third best sales night. But it was still like at the end of the night, I'm like, oh man, that's disappointing. And then I realized, wait a second. And then I looked at the money I made. I'm like, I'm thinking this is a disappointing number. Some of the stuff was, this is what's fascinating about live sales. And I talk about this probably every day, and people are, I'm sure my viewers are going down, but this is all I have to talk about right now. So 2 years ago, you had to listen to me talk about the house construction every day. Now you have to listen to me talk about eBay Live. It's the evolution of my life. So here we go. Take a drink, eBay Live. What's fascinating is, and I talked yesterday about, from like not just show to show, day to day, the different sales, but like the example a couple days, Saturday night, Cal Raleigh rookies selling for $9 at 7, and then by 8:30 they're selling for $1 within the same, like within an hour, 2 hours of each other. And last night, and I'm glad you brought up the 89 Bowman Jackie Robinson. That's a great example of what was selling last night. 80s baseball was selling last night. You know, I've gone back and done 80s at 8 lives, and they didn't do as well as the first one I did. And it's just it's the people in the room. I had some great serial numbered football cards. I had Deion Sanders. I can sell, like, some nights I'll sell a base 4th year Deion Sanders football card for $6. Last night I had a numbered out of 250 Deion Sanders. It sold for $2. A Michael Strahan out of 250 sold for $2. A Patrick Mahomes Prism, which would have sold for $15. Yeah, a base Prism has sold for like $12 to $15 on eBay Live. Sold for $1 last night, which makes a little more sense for a base Prism card. I'd probably put it in a dollar box at a card show. But that's just, eBay Live is just, it's its own animal, and you'd never know. And that's why I like shell listing, so I can adapt, where if I'm doing, and this is why I quickly pivoted from doing curated nights. Like, I'm only going to do the GOATs, Brady, Jordan tonight. Because if your Jordan and Brady buyers aren't there, now, if you do a good job of promoting it, yeah, they'll come, but there's a chance that they may not. And that's what I found out quickly doing these eBay Lives. Just because I promote an 80s at 8 doesn't mean the 80s buyers are going to come out and make it a great show. Last night, 80s, that's what people were wanting. An 89 Bowman Jackie Robinson sweepstakes card sold for $6. I had some like 81 Donruss go for $5, $6, $7 for like a Mike Schmidt or a George Brett. But football was soft last night. But in previous eBay Lives, football has been killer. It's fascinating, depending on who's in the room. And it kind of goes back to Cal Raleigh. The right people were in the room early in the show. We were selling them for $9. Later in the show, the right people weren't there. They're going for $1. So it's a fascinating platform. Well, live selling in general, not just eBay Live, but I think any live selling platform has that to it. Herman says, my wife does the same thing. Pasta goes in right behind water. Yeah, and apparently you're not supposed to do that. I learned that last night. I was scolded. Chris, what's going on? Good morning. Just started watching. It appears to be a food-related rant. It is. It is. When I'm in charge of dinner, rants to follow. Unless it's on the grill. If I can cook outside, I'm good outside. But it's inside the kitchen because I'm messy. I don't follow directions. It's the shit show. That's why I don't cook dinner that often. Kyle, what's going on? Hope the Goodwill Pallet is a good one for you. Absolutely. We'll see if there's any NASCAR. We've been on a dry spell on NASCAR. There hasn't been. I think all of the NASCAR cards in Dane County were already dumped at Goodwill. It's been very few NASCAR, really non-sport. Some of those early pallets, there was a ton of non-sport. There was a 5-row box, which was great. I think it was in pallet number 2. It was one of the early pallets, 2 or 3. I should document because I'm just based on memory. But I know, like, each of the first few pallets, I had like a big card. And I think it was the second pallet had a 5-row box of non-sport with a ton of promos. And there was a rare Marvel promo that sold for 500. And that box was, I mean, that box paid, that card itself almost paid for them. Actually, that pallet probably was only $500 back then. That one card basically paid for the pallet. Cooter, or did I miss Chris? Sounds like you're on a glide path toward the Madison Card Show planning. We're getting there. Tables are all booked. Everything is sold out. Now it's I need to put pen to paper on the map. I got to finish the map and get that distributed to my director of dealer operations, Tom Coleman, East Coast Tom, and getting final preps, and I still got to get some signage printed. Cody's company is working on the vendor badges, so to be good to go. Cooter says, "Good morning. Boiled pasta, not ribs." That's good advice. Dad dude from Duryea, what's up? Sounds like you need an inventory sourcing guy, on-air live talent, an event coordinator, and a stand-in host for this. I do. I am getting I'm getting very close to like hiring. Like I really need somebody. Just from like the shipping's the bane of my existence in this business. But I really just need to do it. Kind of like moving the Madison Card Show to the Alliant Energy Center. Just fricking rip the Band-Aid off and do it. And I think that's what I need to do. I think my fear is, I have a couple fears. But one fear is, I mean, obviously I work out of my home, so I've got to hire somebody that's, trustworthy and all that. But my other fear is, it's like timing. Like I want to make sure it's the right time. And I think that just rip the Band-Aid off and do your proper vetting. So I think I just need to do it. I think what I need to do, I really do. I'm a really good I'm a better planner because I don't have too many distractions when I go on vacation. And so we're going to Maine next month, right before the National. So maybe that's something that I can, and I can spitball, with my wife, and she's not distracted. I'm not distracted, and our friends and friends that we're traveling with. She's my friend's, my wife's friend is has her own business and has like a small couple employees. So I think it would be good to just kind of get some advice from them. Found Treasures in the house. Good morning. Red light tonight. All right, I'll have it on in the background. Max says Halliburton is 10 times easier to hate than Reggie. Really? I don't see that. That whole team is a bunch of wannabe thugs. Go Thunder. I don't see that out of the Pacers. But I also don't watch a lot of basketball. Max says, do you list on your store anymore, or has that ceased since eBay Live? Essentially, that has ceased since eBay Live. I've got some cards that I'm going to put on Buy It Now, but I'm so focused on eBay Live, and that's where all the money is coming in from an eBay standpoint. I mean, do I have my performance? Yeah. So I'm now 89% year over year growth, and that number is rising each day. Quantity sold is over 15%. Average sales price continues to go up. I'm 34% higher on average sales price. So I'm getting my volume up, I'm getting my average sales price up. So those are two key contributors. And I've now, and as of, here's a crazy stat. June 9th. So 2 days ago, I had made more in net sales, money hitting my bank account in the first 9 days of June than any previous month that I've been doing. Well, with the exception of last month, that I've been doing this on eBay. That's the growth that's the eBay Live monster that it is. So, so with that money coming in from eBay Live, there's some stuff that it's like, I don't want to, like a Mike Trout, my first Bowman Chrome Blue Refractor Mike Trout auto. That's not something I'm going to put on eBay Live. I've got a Roki Sasaki from NPB, Chrome NPB. That's not something I'd put on eBay Live. Stuff like that. Like I've got Sports Illustrated for kids cards that don't do well on eBay Live, but it's one of those things where it's like, I don't care. Some of those, if they sell for $1, great. What else? The Cubs season ticket holder sets. I've got some duplicates of those. Those I'll put on as a buy it now because that's stuff that doesn't sell well on eBay Live. Honestly, the season ticket holder set, Pete Crow Armstrong could go for $30 as a buy it now, and which I think is what they're selling for. And on eBay Live, it might sell for $5. And I can sell a rookie debut that I have a stack of for $5. So there's certain cards when I get around to it that I'll list as buy it now. But for pretty much everything, I'm putting all my energy and time into the auctions, which are also faster to pick, pack, and ship. The only difficulty is, at the end of each auction, like I've got to go through and, sort down by name. But yeah, everything it's now, am I stopping completely? No, but for the most part, my buy it now listings, I'm not adding much to it because especially when you're looking at $1.75, $2 listings, and they're in 30, if I have a 30 card order out of 30 different boxes, that takes significant time, where a 30 card order from eBay Live takes me the same amount of time as it would take me a 1 card order on a buy it now, or maybe 2. So time is also a big factor in that. Anthony Thomas, what's going on? Good morning. To sell on eBay Live, do you have to have a niche eBay store? No. So right now it's still in beta. So eBay's selecting sellers to basically test it out. I think what they're looking for right now is experience on live selling platforms, a social media following, and I would say experience on eBay, but that's not really a factor. I know a bunch of people have been recruited from different platforms to sell on eBay Live. So those are, I think it's experience on other platforms, other live selling platforms, and having a big social media following. Those are 2 of the things that they are really looking for right now. I would expect them to be opening up on a wider basis. I don't expect like next year, January 1st, all of a sudden everybody is open to sell on eBay. I think there's going to be a pretty thorough vetting process because they don't want to become whatnot in all of the bad stuff that is talked about and, all the crap that happens with whatnot, because there's no barrier to entry on whatnot. You can just go and sell. Now that's beneficial because anybody can do it and build a following, but a lot of work goes into that. The great thing about eBay Live is, especially now in beta, eBay's pushing, and I'm one of few sellers, I think one of 40 sellers in sports that are on that. So it's funneling a lot of buyers to, and really it's a small pool of buyers right now. Cause I go on various live streams on eBay Live and I see the same buyers that are in my show. It's like, oh, hey, I know him. He's bought from me. He's bought from me. He's bought from me. And it's crazy, like how small that pool is right now. Sunflower's in the house. He was with us last night. I think a key principle you execute on is repeatedly asking people what they want. Also, ability to curate has been great. And I think that has really helped in sales, because I can get a feel of, and I think that's beneficial for both parties, buyer and seller. Like you want Bo Jackson, you want, like Sunflower wanted a lot of Diamond Kings. And so as I'm going through boxes yesterday afternoon, I pulled out and it was like a 25 card lot of Diamond Kings, and we run it. And I was happy. I think you were happy with the result. I was happy with the result. And if I'm able to do that and quickly, now I can't pull Jack Caglianone. It's a little tougher for me to pull out like Steven Strasburg, but I I try to remember Sean wants Steven Strasburg. So if I come across Steven Strasburg, okay. If I see Sean pop up in the chat, here's Strasburg. Knowing what people want is critical and making it available. And that also helps for returning buyers. Herman says, oh, it's Uncle Rich's birthday. I am. Happy birthday, Rich. I want to apologize to everybody here. I am terrible with birthdays. I feel bad like when I get on Facebook and everybody wishes me a happy birthday and then like I don't reciprocate. I apologize. That's one of my toxic traits. I am terrible with birthdays. Usually I'll see somebody like, oh, it's somebody's birthday today. So I am, some people are like birthday people. Some people like, no, they're just like, oh, it's somebody's birthday. And it's like, I forget it's my birthday coming up until like the day before. I'll get like a Facebook message like, happy birthday. I'm like, is it my birthday? I'm like, oh, it's tomorrow. Oh, okay. But happy birthday, Uncle Rich. Unicorn says, just made an offer for half of seller's price, which was high, and got myself 1933 National Chickle Skybird cards. Very cool. Max says, watch them play the Bucks. They have horrible little brother syndrome. Halliburton is still the most overrated player in the league. Gem City says, good morning. I hope you get to run a full binder on eBay Live. That would be fun. If there's decent stuff. Most of the binders I get in Goodwill Pallets are like 89 Topps, Greg Jeffries, 90 Fleer, Kevin Moss. Although those are fun. I love those binders. Todd Van Poppel, Brian Taylor. Those binders are fun. If we get some binders, maybe we can run a binder. You're giving us all the classic excuses of a business owner that needs to hire an EE. Get on it. I know. You are welcome. Rich, thanks, Herman, for the shout out. Orlando, what's going on? Good morning. Uncle Rich says, I'm taking the day off today and right now sorting through a donation. How about that? Sorting cards on your birthday doesn't get any better than that. Unicorn says, happy birthday to Rich, the best moderator on this channel. Max, happy birthday to Uncle Rich. Gem City says, on my birthday, I just want cake and gifts. Is that wrong? I don't even need cake. I just want baseball cards. That's all I needed. Uncle Rich says, I'm having a small lunch with some friends. Thankfully, almost none of my wife's friends and hanging out playing with cards today. Gotta love it. Max says, I'm in the same spot, but I don't want anybody else touching my money. So don't feel bad. Yeah, I think it's not necessarily I guess inventory is money. It's not that as much as it's hard for me to relinquish control. I think that's the underlying issue. I think it's just once I do it, I cannot hire a remote executive assistant. No, because I need to be shit. I think there was a conversation on Hobby Evolution's Facebook group. If you're not in, check it out. We have some good conversations in there. Somebody had posted about hiring remotely to do like listing. And it's like, it doesn't make sense to hire somebody, especially the listing process. If you hire somebody overseas to do your listing, I mean, you're doing the scanning and then you're doing the pricing. The listing is the part, especially when you're listing, like if you're using Card Dealer Pro, you've got to check for mistakes. And somebody in India that doesn't know baseball cards, you want them listing your cards like that? Just sounds like a recipe for disaster. So I don't really have any. I mean, there's some remote work that I could have done, like social media, graphic design. Fortunately, AI has taken a little bit off my plate in terms of some of that, but it's not perfect. But I also, like, how much money do I want to dump into something like that? My biggest, and I think understanding where's my biggest uh, kinks in my business. And I think shipping is the biggest one. It's also the one I least enjoy. But it's also, I think, something that, especially with my organization to an extent, is the easiest to offload. Listing it with eBay Live takes no time at all. I mean, okay, it takes 5 minutes, which in the grand scheme is no time at all. So my listing on eBay Live is minimal. I usually put a generic thumbnail. Getting those scheduled, that's pretty easy. So the listing process is pretty easy. Now, the difficult thing is, another kink could be sorting. But this is my hang up. We all know, and I think Max said it, nobody does it better than you, and talking to each specific business owner. And that's something where did I don't know if it was a professor I had, but it really dawned on me that nobody cares about your business more than you do. Like, you can hire the best employee and they don't care as much as you do. Like, it's your baby. And I learned that when the last job I had in logistics, and the boss that hired me, he built the company and then sold it to a larger company, and then just, had his, his 3-year management plan, and then rode off into the sunset and retired. And he was such a hard ass, but it was his business. And he wanted, and this is also where you have to have a little balance, because you can't be a dick just because you want to run your business one way. Yeah, that's the way your business is going to run, but like, you also have to concede a little bit and listen to your employees. And I think that's where maybe I might have no, because I'm stubborn, and being stubborn is not a good trait for boss. A bad trait. So I need to get better at that. So I guess finding those kinks, I think shipping would be a good starting point. And then sorting. And I think it could be one of those but then also it's like, how much do you want to pay for, okay, if somebody's going to sort cards, it's pretty minimum work. Shipping is too. But you want to get the most out of it. I don't know. It's just, I just need to do it, is basically what I need to do. Timothy says, can I be the assistant to the executive assistant? Sure. Gem City says, and we knew you were a control freak. You use the extra strength high hold hair gel. See? Yeah. It's got to be glue. I think it's got to be glue that I use. Gem City hiring Timothy. Good morning, Jody. Unicorn says, go to a Mormon church and find a kid that will do it properly. Max says, imagine the person you hire lists on your fixed price store and ships everything from both live and fixed. You do all the customer facing tasks, live selling, purchasing, etc. Unicorn, they are too busy walking around neighborhoods bothering people. So that's what's on my mind today. We're going to go back on eBay Live tonight, 7:00 Central. eBay Live, we're taking requests. So join us at 7 p.m. tonight, eBay Live. I still do have over 100,000 cards in my eBay store at 99centcards.com. You can check that. Something I've actually thought about doing is just taking all my buy it now items off. But I don't want to do that, because when I go away for Saturday, I'm going to be at the Janesville Card Show. Now I'm going to be making money at the card show. I will end up spending more on Saturday than I make, which is usually kind of how it goes. I don't really set up to make money at card shows. It's just a nice bonus. But one of those days where if I can make a little bit of money on buy it now items, that's good. That's good. But as I pull some of these cards, I'm going through and it's like, I've got this card listed for $1.75. This sells for $8 on eBay Live. 89 Donruss rated rookie Randy Johnson's. I've been averaging like $10 on those cards. 89 Donruss Randy Johnson. So stuff like that. And it's like, I have this in my eBay store for $1.75. So yeah. So I've thought about that. It's like, I just need to pull some of this inventory and list it on eBay Live. Maybe this week, I'll look around at doing that. Unicorn says they can give the money to the church. Max says essentially the stuff that needs the knowledge is where you need to be, sourcing and sorting and selling. I agree. But everything, I guess not. The shipping part is probably the least part of the knowledge because it's spelled out like, oh, this goes to box to buck, eBay user box to buck. That's pretty easy. Oh, he had 4 cards. Here's 4 cards. Put them in an envelope, ship them off. Just do it correctly. So I guess that would be the least knowledgeable part. The sorting, you could have a list, but I will tell you, and this is, so I'm going to roll back because this is something that I didn't touch on. The sorting part doesn't necessarily need the knowledge if there's a list. But however, when there's a list, it takes a lot more time. Shane had a list of a bunch of cards of players. And when I would get that list out, it would take me forever. So I just try to memorize. And I guess this is part of you adapt. Try to memorize, okay, here's players. And I may miss some on the list because I don't have all of them memorized. But it did take a significantly longer amount of time to cross-check a list. Like, oh, is he on the list? And then you go to the list. And it's like, that's just not efficient whatsoever. So there definitely does have to be knowledge, even if you have a list. And a list will bog you down. Timothy says, do you have a lot of returned cards from eBay Live? Surprisingly, no. There's usually a couple auctions each night that don't get paid for, or there's an issue with, I didn't mean to bid on this. But I would say 3 out of 200. 3 out of 200 I have issues with. And usually, here's the most surprising thing. It's not on a $10 89 Donruss Randy Johnson. It's on a $1 card of like, oh, okay, that I can put back on. I think in the first eBay Live, I sold an Aaron Judge for $1.04. It didn't get paid for. A week later, it sold for $4. So it's like, oh, okay, that was a good thing. So some of that, I had a problem buyer, and he left me a negative feedback. Hopefully, it's wiped away by now. The very first auction he bought from me, he wanted to cancel, and he gave a stupid excuse, like it didn't even make sense. And I'm like, no. So I declined it. And then he threatened negative feedback, and he ended up paying for it and shipped. And nothing happened at that point. He comes back and I'm like, oh, it's this guy again. And he actually bought in 2 of my auctions. One was like, say it was last Wednesday, and another one was like the following Sunday. So he pays, like he waits to pay. And then he sends me a message like 2 days later, and he goes, when is this going to ship? I ordered it over a week ago. And I'm like, you just paid for it a day ago, 2 days ago. I'm like, this fucking guy again. So that was problem number 2 with him. 3 strikes and you're out. I shouldn't even give 3 strikes, but I did this asshole. He gets the second batch of cards. Now, when you win an auction, you get the name written down right on the penny sleeve. I think Max gave me that idea. So there's no messing that up. And he said, you sent me the wrong cards. That was the eBay message. I want a refund. You sent me the wrong cards. And I'm like, your name was on the cards that were shipped. And he sent me a picture of the 3 cards that he ordered that's recorded on an eBay live stream. And I said, I have the recording. Those were the 3 cards you bought. And then his response, refund. My response was no. And then I blocked his ass. He sent me a negative feedback this morning, which I disputed. I'm sure it's probably still, I don't know if it's still up. Hopefully it gets removed. Let's see. Nope, it's still up. Come on, eBay. You got to remove that shit. Wrong cards and didn't refund. He's got like a 98%. I think he does mystery packs. Yeah, he does mystery packs. So that's the type of USA_sports cards is the eBay username. So that's the type of guy that you're getting from that dill hole. So he's blocked. Max says shipping and listing needs 0. You are giving them a stack to list. The list would be like 300 players, teams, products, etc. Found treasures. Yeah, it would be if not more. I found when I'm participating in a live auction, I'll end up paying up for some dollar cards because I forgot the card existed or didn't know I wanted it until it comes up. That's it. Yeah, that's true. It's kind of like at a card show. Like I'll pay up at a card show because it's right there in front of me. Like I don't have to go search it out. It's boom. If you're watching an eBay live or any live stream and you see a card, it's like, oh, I want that. I don't care. I'm not going to go look at comps because it's right now in front of me. And if it's a price I'm willing to pay, I'll pay it. So I get that. I get that part. Max says block him after the first nerd. I really should have. Card Safari says I moved to a 1 annoying strike and you're out method. Blood pressure rising. Tiger 727. That guy sounds like a real clown. Oh, such a jack off. So, all right. That's what I had for today. Have a great day. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out my eBay Live tonight, 7 p.m. Central. I will see you there.